Well, according to the American president, this is an Israeli plan, an Israeli offer. But what we still need to hear is that Netanyahu really accepts his own offer, if it is his offer. So the most important point here is that Israel must be held accountable for what is declared as an Israeli plan. And I think that's what Hamas and other resistance movements should insist on, that there is a clear statement by Netanyahu that he is really approving or supporting this particular proposal. That's one point. The second point is that this declaration and this kind of details that we have heard clearly show that Israel and the United States of America are both admitting the failure of the Israeli war on Gaza, in the sense that it has failed in achieving all its goals. It has failed in imposing ethnic cleansing on Palestinian people in Gaza. It has failed to eradicate the Palestinian resistance. It has failed to bring back Israeli prisoners without an exchange deal. And that by itself will have a very big impact on Netanyahu and his future in the long run. Finally, the most important thing is that to make sure that Netanyahu will not play games again. The fact that Biden decided to declare by himself these points, and clearly he wouldn't have done so if if he didn't receive Israeli approval of it, is his way of besieging, in my opinion, Netanyahu and preventing him from maneuvering again.
Everything you've just said about the failure of the war to achieve its objectives, I suppose could also be used as a pretext for Netanyahu to continue the war.
Yeah, if you could, but you see, it's interesting what Biden said, that Israel is getting isolated completely at the worldwide, and that he said that the continuation of the war will not bring Israel anything else. It will not bring Israel victory. It will not bring Israel more than what they have on the table now. And so, in my opinion, Biden was pressuring Netanyahu to accept the reality, which is that it is impossible to achieve anything more. All that Israel has achieved is killing 46,000 Palestinian civilians, mainly. I mean, if we include the 10,000 people who are decomposing under the rubble, unfortunately, all he has achieved is the destruction of the total infrastructure of Gaza, people's homes, people's houses, causing a lot of pain to Palestinians,
and Mustafa,
but
tell
not
me,
achieving any political goal.
Very important to, the politics is there, but also to focus on Gaza and the people inside who've been through an unbearable 8 months, but this after decades of a blockade and a siege in any case. Do you see any path for this agreement to make life easier for them? Because, as you say, Gaza is now uninhabitable.
For sure, if this plan is implemented, if Netanyahu stops his war and removes his army from Gaza, and if the American president fulfills his promise that there will be a sufficient supply of humanitarian aid, and most important, the beginning of reconstruction of Gaza, I think this will relieve, of course, some of the pain. Some of the pain will never go away. Those who lost their fathers, their mothers, their children, their wives, their husbands, of course, these are wounds that will never heal. But at least the suffering could stop, and no more people would be killed. This is what we want. And at the end of the day, it's a turning point in the sense of showing that Palestinian people will never give up, will never surrender unless they get their freedom. And that applies not only to what's happening in the Gaza Strip, but also what's happening in the West Bank and to Palestinian people in general.
Thank you very much, Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative and former Information Minister Mustafa Barghouti.